Yeah, dog. Welcome to Wreck to Riches. My name is Thomas G. Don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment, and always remember, I am not a professional, for damn sure not a... Wait. Okay. I am not a financial advisor, for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. You could lose it all. And don't ever forget to never... Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. And don't ever allow a social media influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency, because you could get wrecked. Things happen, things go wrong. You never know. It's crypto, man. Don't learn the hard way. Because I definitely have learned the hard way. Oh man, I swear you cannot be sick or go on vacation for more than a day. Me and my 5 kids and wife all had the flu at the same time. So I was out. Once I was done taking care of the kids and they were better after a day, like it was a half a day of me just being, oh man, out of it. And during that time, you know, I'm not too active in the chat. I'm trying to be as much as I can. And R2R, my private group. You guys interested in the private group, go ahead and take a look in the description of the video for details on that. And man, I just run into so many different things that are going on. Pricing, the price of this token's going down, this token's going up. Different narratives. My stable token's better than your stable token, and I'm going, what in the world is going on? So I jump into the narratives, and we're gonna name this video PulseChain News today. PulseChain News. I mean, in my world, in the, call it DGen, high risk, high reward, in the PulseChain, like, deep dive into the trenches of what's really going on in PulseChain outside of the Richard Hart tokens, there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of speculation going on. There's been months and months of speculation with PDI, right? And back in August, when the whole PDI thing went down and I started buying PDI, loaded up on PDI, I was really upset because when PulseChain first launched, I bought every single stable token I could. I went on Twitter, and because I had so much respect for the RH Maxis, they're all like, you guys are idiots buying those free copies, you morons. So I got rid of them. I had millions and millions where I'm like, let me just put, you know, 100 million. I think at the time it was like 150 million Pulse I had end up using to get a bunch scattered throughout all the different ones, right? So then I get back to it, buy the PDI when that whole narrative happens. But I got into one that's called LUSD early. And I've held it to this time. I think I have probably closing in on like 400 billion PLUSD. And nothing came about it for months. I went back on YouTube like months later. Hadn't even talked about it. And then all of a sudden, like, some minting function gets fixed or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay. And the price starts going up. And then all these different groups are talking about it. All these different private groups, Telegram groups are talking about LUSD and Richard Hart's involvement. And now people are feuding between PDI and LUSD. It's like gang wars all over again. So I'm like, oh, well, am I going to make it? Like, I've had this. I literally forgot about my LUSD because I bought it for so cheap and it hadn't done anything for months. So I had no reason to go think about it, speak about it, care about it. I wrote it off as a loss. It didn't perform like the other ones, you know, like the USDC. It did nothing like that. So this community comes together and they're like, boom, we got this whole narrative going on, and there's a huge divide. So we got this guy named Arrow from the LUSD community who claims he was the one who fixed the minting function. Not stopped the token from being minted, but actually made it so it's not profitable. So like they stopped 90% plus, like 90% plus of the minting, so that even if you do mint, you're at a loss. So you got that narrative, right? Then I run into like this ecosystem that might be operating, and it's like a forked style of Atropa. And I'm yesterday on Twitter, like, I had been buying it and putting LP into it, and now I'm out of the LP, holding the tokens. Like, I don't know what I'm doing because I have no one to talk to about it that knows. Like, it's all speculation. Like, what's the F is going on? And I'm looking at this token. I posted some of the tokens yesterday on Twitter, and I got no feedback other than people were like, what's this? So, like, there's no one discussing it. No one has inside knowledge. But just like a Tropa, I was very early on a Tropa, right? Where these LP pools were like $200, $300. Now they're hundreds of thousands, some of them millions of dollars, right? And I'm looking. So what I was looking for is the same thing. Okay, is this like a Tropa? So when you buy, the bots sell, right? After you sell, the bots buy. So the bots are running all day long. And a Tropa basically uses these bots to buy and burn LP and move money around through the web of pools, like the different tokens. And overall, just collectively brings them all up, you know, the LP pools, and burns tokens out of circulation. But there's like no head to the snake here. Like, is there an LUSD guy behind this? There's speculation I've heard, but I can't confirm any of it. So I'm down that rabbit hole. And I'm sick as a dog, right? I'm going out on Twitter. I'm hearing nothing. The token's going up, but there's not a lot of LP. It's small market cap. So it's like you can buy it and hope that things develop like a Tropa did. That's where I'm at with that. I bought a Tropa early. I wasn't cashing out anything for months until the LP built up, and I started believing more and more and more into it. Then I was like, oh man, my $1,000 is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars now, but this is several months later, right? You got to really hold on to it. So kind of hoping with that something plays out, but I don't know, man. I'm seeing it operate. So if it's a fork, but it has all these different tokens, I put the list on Twitter of all the tokens that are associated. I don't know what to make of it. So there's all that going on. And this guy who thinks he fixed it did an interview in R2R, in my private group, but he was booted out of the original LUSD group. But you go and you talk to those guys, and they're very toxic. They don't sound like they know what they're talking about, but this guy really does. Arrow. So then there's two different sides of the fence. You're like, who do you believe? Who knows, man? This is crypto. I came from a world where you believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. That's how I've operated my whole life. So you got that going on. All roads for me, after all the drama and everything I've seen out there, just so much going on. I'm like, all right, I got a little bit of the baby Tropa, little Tropa ecosystem tokens, got enough, you know. I can stay in the LPs and get out. Like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's just like, let me just figure out what's going on. So if anyone's got an answer to that, that would be great. And now I'm like, okay, all roads lead to the stuff I really like, which right now PulseChain is down drastically. So everything's down right now. Everything's heavily bonded to Pulse. So I'm buying GIF again. I'm buying SolidX. I'm buying BBC, my core tokens. And I'm realizing, and as hard as it is to wing myself off the narrative tokens and, you know, the speculation and the meme coins, it's becoming even more clear to me, like, God, bro, you got to back off that. Like, you can make your quick money, but you got to, like, hit the brakes and completely wing yourself off that stuff, because if we are going to go full bull soon, which I think we will start in July, I got to be in the tech like GIF. I know that's going to be awesome. I got to be in SolidX and roll with SolidX, the fire whale. The index tokens of SolidX, the Solid Index, you know, with the Nope token, Randy Hilarski, BBC, their exchange is, you know, top tier versus Pulse. Their 9mm can compete as far as the tech side with the V3, but, you know, 9 inches bigger. Literally, no pun intended. So, yeah, all roads lead to my core tokens. But if this little Tropa tokens, and again, guys, comment if you know anything about it, works out. I got some moon bags, and I did all right with the LP. And I don't like LP because I don't like to watch it. Like, when you're doing liquidity providing, when it goes up, you know, you got to remove, go back in, remove, go back in. There's a whole lot to it when you do it to profit the way I've always done it. So there is a lot to that. And I spent about an hour on a private chat with somebody last night from our group, you know, teaching them a few things. A few more things we got to go over, you know, as far as micromanaging, to do it at your best, depending on your goal. But I just feel that a lot of things are brewing up. Toxic energy, fights between my stable token's better than your stable token. And I even heard Maria said something of the possibility, something along the lines that ecosystem, if it fails, she could get her money back. Like, there's a possibility. Apparently the math is wrong too. Apparently the math is wrong when it comes to like the price that everything is pointed to based off oracles and all. It's a whole thing of just zip, 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 zip. Pew! Fireworks going everywhere, man. It's too much for my brain. I'm trying to figure it all out. I can't be sick for a day, so I'm trying to catch up. Maybe I'll make another update video, and maybe I'll have answers to this little Atropa ecosystem that just showed up. Maybe I'll have answers to LUSD, or maybe I'll be done with the narratives and say, I got my bags. What do I need? What more do I need to talk about it? Other than, I hope it goes up. Do I think LUSD, with me owning almost 400 billion tokens, is going to peg to $1? No. No, I don't. I don't know what you could do to peg LUSD to $1, where if I say, well, I refuse to sell until it's $1. What are you going to do? Burn my tokens out of my wallet? I don't know the answer to that. Could they get it to 4 zeros? Now we're talking. Will I shake out at that? I don't know, maybe. If there's liquidity, but there never is. Even if those numbers are there, like, I would empty the entire liquidity pool with just one wallet. So these things are really hard to believe. Believe half of what you see and nothing what you hear. Remember that. That's enough for the PulseChain news and drama today. Don't forget to pound the like button. There's a whole lot going on. Don't sleep, you'll miss it. Or don't get sick, you'll miss it too. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.